There's something darkly poetic about a tech founder of a platform where 1 billion people are communicating with each other, and you're on concrete, no pillow for days, no windows. It's like a book. I mean, it reminds me, I'm a huge fan of Franz Kafka, and he's written about the absurdity of these kinds of situations, hence the Kafka-esque stories. There's a story literally about the situation that he wrote, perhaps predicted, called The Trial, where a person is arrested for no reason that anybody can explain and is stuck in the judicial system for a long time. That nobody, fascinatingly, in that story, neither the person arrested nor any individual member of the system itself fully understand what is happening. Nobody can truly answer the questions. And eventually the person, spoiler alert, is mentally broken by the whole system, which is what bureaucracy can do in its most absurd forms. It breaks the spirit, the human spirit, laden in all of us. That's the negative side of bureaucracy.
I agree with you on the absurdity of this thing. Because if this was a good faith attempt to fix an issue, there were so many ways to reach out to Telegram, to reach out to me personally, voice their concerns, and solve any alleged problem in a way that is conventional and diplomatic, the way every other country on this planet solves these problems, including with Telegram, and we did it dozens of times.
Yeah, you have a nice page showing this is kind of like details that most people don't really think about. But Telegram is at the forefront of moderating CSAM and terrorist groups. There's a nice page, telegram.org/moderation, that shows just the incredible amount of groups and channels that are engaged in terrorist activity and CSAM activity that are actively blocked, found, and blocked by Telegram. So, and a lot of this work, like you said, because of the automation, is done with machine learning. Just the scale is insane. This is stuff that most like noobs like me who are just chatting it up on Telegram don't think about. But there's just like an immense number of people essentially doing things that violate the law on there, and you have to find them immediately and catch it. I guess all platforms have to deal with it, and Telegram was doing a great job of dealing with that kind of content. And what you're saying is the French government had no idea. Do they even know what machine learning is?
It's a concept that is challenging to explain to them, but I think they will learn much more about it by the end of this investigation. That's my hope. In any case, you're right. I mean, if you look at Telegram, we've been fighting harmful content that is publicly distributed on our platform since 10 years ago. Actually, since the time we launched public channels on Telegram. And since something like 8 years ago, we had daily transparency reports on how many channels related to child abuse or terrorist propaganda we've taken down daily. Every day we've taken, maybe we would take down hundreds of them. And if you include all kinds of content that we remove, all the accounts, groups, channels, posts, that would amount to millions of pieces of content every week, hundreds of thousands every day. And then somebody would read the newspaper, get enraged because they would read something about child porn, and this is a subject that is very emotionally charged, and start doing something not based on data and logical thinking and laws, but based on emotions driven from inaccurate input.
Yeah, I think we should make pretty clear that there's no world, no reason that the French government should have arrested you. But here we are. That's the situation you're in. So to be clear, you have to show up in front of a judge. All of this is beautifully absurd. It would be hilarious if it wasn't extremely serious. You have to show up in front of a judge every a certain amount of time? And what is that experience like?
In France, they have this role of investigative judge. I don't think you have it in many other places in the world. It means I'm not on trial, I'm being investigated. And in France, it's not just the police or prosecutor asking me questions, it's a judge. Which, in my experience, is more like still a prosecutor, but it's called a judge. And that makes it harder to appeal. So if you're limited in, say, countries where you can travel, then to appeal that restriction will take you a lot of time. The investigation itself should have never been started. It's an absurd and harmful way of solving an issue as complicated as regulating social media. It's just the wrong tool. So we objected and appealed the investigation itself. We did last year, I believe. We're still not even given a hearing date for the appeal because the process is painfully slow, not just for me, but for everybody, which made me realize the system may be broken in many levels. You have other entrepreneurs affected by the French justice system telling me horror stories about their experiences, where businesses got paralyzed by very unnecessary actions of investigative judges that ended up being unjustified and biased. And in the end, you can perhaps solve it when you reach a higher court and you'll get justice, but you'll lose a lot of time and energy in the process. So this is the only thing that is, I hope, different and will be different in this case compared to the story you told from Kafka.